let's go then to this particular conversation that looks at bringing joy to some of the little ones this festive season, and it's about bringing joy to some of the children who are less fortunate. Because think about it, you are thinking about your family right now, thinking about what to make for Christmas. You're probably thinking about what to put on the Christmas table, but for some it's not an easy time, and Lisa as well as Stafford Masie are bringing life to some of these children. And good evening to you both, and thank you so much for your time. I see smiles on your faces. I'm very happy because it's been quite doom and gloom as we talk about politics and crime and the situation on the road. But what you're doing is quite important, and it's really something that brings a smile, especially to the most vulnerable, our children. Let's talk about how this initiative came about and when did it all start?
Well, thanks for having us. Lisa and I are so privileged to be here to speak about this today. But I grew up in El Dorado Park, so it's a hometown for me. And I was one of the lucky ones that got to escape the social challenges that they have in that community. And my wife and I got together, and we've had quite a successful year from a business perspective. And we realized it wasn't about going off and getting another holiday or another car or something like that. We needed to do something. And we wanted to give back. And let's be honest, there are so many people with this pandemic right now that are suffering. We've never seen suffering like this before, to be honest with you. So many people are destitute, so much anxiety, so much uncertainty. And, it all takes us just doing one little thing in our capacity to make a change. And we just decided that we wanted to do something for the children in El Dorado Park. And yeah, some of these kids have never seen Santa Claus before. They've never actually been gifted something before.
They've actually never opened a present before.
Yeah.
It was quite overwhelming to watch that. Not a child being given a present and they were so overwhelmed by it and didn't even really know how to open it. And that really tugged at the heartstrings. And for us, it wasn't that hard. All we did was give up some of our time and energy. We went shopping at one of our special clients gave us access to her what would you call it, a shopping account, which gave us a crazy discount on all of these amazing gifts. And we wrapped them all as a team today. We took the afternoon, we went to Aldo's, we gifted the kids, and it was actually a bit of a joint effort by doing a couple of social media posts. And a lot of our clients just adding a little bit of like an extra donation to their cart when they checked out. A lot of our clients dropped off beautiful toys,
baby clothes.
So it was such a minimal effort thing, and yet it went such a long way. And I think that was quite a big wake up call for us when we realized we could be doing so much more within a year. It doesn't take a lot of money, it doesn't take a huge amount of effort. If everybody something like this, we could actually make a huge difference,
And thanks to Darylene. I mean, you can see Darylene in the pictures there. I picked up the phone last week to her and I said, Darylene, and she's a community leader, in El Dorado Park. And I said, Dee, let's do something. We're going to raise capital. We've got an ecosystem. Let's do something. And I want to encourage anyone that's listening out there. And I think this is something that's so important. So many of us of color have come out of townships, and we've done well for whatever reason and whatever privilege we have, and we drive around in these multi-million rand cars. And I think it's time that we take a step back away from that. And we go back to where we were brought up, and we start giving back, and we use our ecosystems, and we use our clients that are wanting to give. They just don't pay. And we can create these platforms to make meaningful change. And that was such a privilege to do that today.
And I want to get to that in just a moment, Stafford, especially how people can get involved in such an initiative. But I'd like us just to go back a little bit to something that Lisa said, because a lot of us tonight may just be excited about, unwrapping those Christmas presents, because it just comes naturally to us and we're expecting something around this time. But if you're talking about a child not even being able to know where to begin to unwrap their Christmas present, that's a moment to behold, and it really calls on us to really do better.
No, absolutely. And I think, living in South Africa, the opportunity to make a change is so easy. To have an impact from a humanities perspective is so simple. If you're thinking about buying that thing that you want to buy this festive season, think about halving the cost and perhaps taking half that and giving it. And when we turned to our clients, the response was incredible. So many people are suffering out there, but so many people are also willing to give. And as business leaders, as people that own businesses, as folks that know other folks that own businesses, create those platforms. They're simple, they're easy. And you know what we've decided to do in unison with Darylene and her initiative in Eldorado Park? We are definitively going to do more. You know, as soon as you start doing a little bit, you realize how big the need is out there. So we need to do more. And you know what? It's not going to be government. Eh? It's not going to be a minister. We're always waiting for someone to make that change, to give that something. No. And you know, we thought about that. We thought about this money and thought maybe we need to go buy, you know, essentials like nappies or medicines or something like that. But we thought, you know what? The joy of receiving something for the first time, the joy of unwrapping something and sitting on Santa Claus's lap for the first time.
As well, and also brand new. That was a big thing. It wasn't a pass me down or a hand me down.
They were brand new toys. Yeah.
Brand new out the box, shiny plastic, you know, like that I think also meant a lot. This was a brand new thing that was for them. And when we wrapped them with the child's name on and the age. And then we knew if it was obviously a boy or girl, we had like a list that we were ticking off of so that the present was age appropriate for their age. It had their name on it. It was meant for them. It meant a lot to the kids to know that their name was being called and then they went to sit on Santa's lap and that was their present, you know. And I think that was, it wasn't random.
Yeah. And again, there's so much that can be done. I'm from Eldorado Park. I know people from Pimble. I know people from Diepkloof, Guguletu. You know, if you are somebody that gained economically in some way or form, you have the responsibility to turn back the community and to do more, not to drive around in these northern suburbs with your beautiful car, flashing it all with beautiful clothes. I think this is the time now, more so than ever before, considering what this pandemic has done to our people. You know, it's time now. And it's small things make massive changes, make massive differences.
And I can't help but look at this as well, especially because you're talking about Darylene James. I mean, if you, as a journalist, you know, I've done quite a lot of stories in the area of Eldorado Park, and Darylene is known all around that community. And as an activist, of course, she's dealt with some of the most gruesome stories, you know, children, women, and all of that. But give us a profile of some of the children, you know, that you are doing this for, and where do they come from? Is it just Eldorado Park?
Yeah, right now, this initiative, Darylene told us when we got there, we really depended on her on selecting the community leaders around us. So we took people from different extensions that Darylene knew, people that have little initiatives where it's either from the engaging kids from an artistic perspective or sports perspective, and people that knew that these kids were really destitute. And we coagulated just 100 kids. You know, we got together 100 gifts for 100 kids, and we stamped this together and over WhatsApp. I mean, I spoke to Darylene for the first time this morning. We were driving to Eldorado Park. She did all the hard work. She brought all of those people together, and they selected these kids. And when you looked at these kids,
like 10 kids from that extension, and 15 from that, and 20 from that extension, and yeah, I mean that's exactly what Steph said. Darylene called on these community leaders that are already really active in these communities doing wonderful work and said, we need this type of child. And that community leader bought those kids, and before we knew it, we had 100, we had their names, we had their ages, like in 24 hours. Yeah. It was incredible. And like I said again, I just want to reiterate that it really wasn't a hectic amount of work. No. When a community pulls together like this, it's amazing what miracles can happen with minimal effort, minimal money, a bit of time and energy, a good purpose and a good heart, and voila, you changed 100 children's Christmas.
Yeah, and it was absolutely beautiful. We took our little 5-year-old with us, and we showed her children that had never seen Santa before, children that had never, and you know what, she looked at a little girl, and I asked about that little girl, and actually I get emotional about it. She opened up a little gift, and there was a little doll in there. And the entire time we were there, I was watching her. She was sitting down and she was just stroking this little doll because she had never had something like that before. That is profound. And to have these kids understand that there's someone out there that recognizes that they exist. There's someone out there that recognizes that they need it. And I think this is where dignity comes from. This is where I do have a place somewhere in society. And hopefully this little initiative is not just about giving gifts. It's about allowing a child to recognize that I'm being recognized. And hopefully in some way or form that turns that child against the current of the social challenges that the environment presents to them, away from gangsterism, perhaps away from a narcotic or away from, something that's bad. And that's just these little things.
Of hope,
And Lisa, Pardon me, sorry, very briefly, we're almost out of time. In 10 seconds, please tell us where people find you tonight as they're watching who are hoping to get involved.
I think probably the best thing is social media.
Yeah, go to lisarally.com,
Yeah.
our website. Go to @lisarally on Instagram, on Facebook. You can search it, and we'll make this quite prominent on the website. This giving initiative. We need to do a little bit more about it, but
there's a comment section. There's a contact page. You can contact us. Let us know if you would like to get involved in any way or form in Jan. We're going to be doing these kinds of initiatives often.
Yeah, we have a dormant NGO right now. We'll be resurrecting it in January. And anyone listening to this who want to participate, come on board. There's a lot of need, and there's, it's us, Darylene, and the children. There's no multi-organizational thing going on here. The money comes in, and the money goes straight to those kids. And it's just us doing it. It's not an organizational element in this or a multi-tiered bureaucracy. It is us, and where I grew up. And I mean, Eldorado Park is probably one of the most destitute, crime-ridden, drug-ridden places in South Africa. We can make a change. We can find our next Madiba there. We can find our next amazing human being there. The gems are uncut, and it's up to us.
Definitely. Thank you so much to you both for your time, and continue with the good work that you're doing, especially because we know, the area of Eldorado Park and the help that is needed there for that particular community. That was Lisa and Stafford Masie, who were just talking to us about, bringing a smile to the face of a child at a time like this. I mean, a child even becoming overwhelmed when they're opening their own Christmas presents. That's something we take for granted. You're thinking about it, Christmas is coming, my present is there, and these children really do not even get to receive such gifts. So this is an initiative really you do want to get behind. Thank you so much for your time this evening.